Good morning, team. Just now I have reviewed your works. See, I found that most of you people have started writing comprehensive writing kind of thing, like by reading and extracting some information from the given article and recoding it. But it is not the actual thing that should be done. There is a question that is asked at the starting of the task. It is to identify its audience, purpose, message, style, and tone. See, after reviewing this content, you need to identify who are the audience for whom this article is written for. Okay. Next, you need to identify what is the purpose of the article that is written, whether to do some kind of marketing, or like whether the author is doing performing a promotion kind of thing, or the author is just mentioning some kind of facts and figures related to the product that he is mentioning. That should be explained properly. Okay, so when you reading about whether the purpose is satisfied or not, message is properly written or not, the style and tone, you should cross check what should be style and what should be tone. That is clearly explained in the chapter that is explained above. Like, you need to come to like some page number. You can cross check, I guess. Like, when you check the chapter, you will understand some of the important concepts related to the topic. Okay, so I suggest you people to read the question first, and I suggest you to know like what should be written and how it should be written. Rather than focusing more on words, you should understand what is required from the activity. Okay, so you just cross check and please rewrite it again. I want you people to write proper information related to whatever the question that is asked. So have a good understanding on the question that you are like addressing. Okay, that is my suggestion. See, I read like everybody's content, so everybody is okay. They wrote a lot of comprehension kind of thing. If you cross check the chapter 1, you will definitely understand importance of the executive communication and how it should be made. So I will show you providing, giving facts and more impressions, visual clarity. These are some kind of important facts and figures that should be maintained. So, but here there is some good information related to the topic that we are dealing now. Okay, online ethics. If you check this page, this is page number 15, I guess. So there is a case study that was given, and it is clearly mentioned about like who are their audience, and what is the message and what is the purpose, and all details are clearly explained. See, why audience is important means, like when you are writing something, like in initial trainings I explained you clearly, when we are writing, we keep our audience in our mind because we want them to understand whatever we write. Right, because so if you don't understand your audience, maybe you might be speaking some technologically advanced content, and the people who are sitting in front of you might be not aware of any simple technology also, but you are speaking about a smart technology which is very difficult for the audience to understand. So you cannot communicate something that is not relevant to the audience. Even if you are got some kind of information to explain it to the audience, you should understand in what way audience will understand this information. Okay, so whatever you are explaining, you should keep in mind that that should be properly conveyed to the audience. If you don't know your audience, it is highly difficult to complete the communication process, because the communication process purely depends on how it was communicated to the target audience. Unless it is properly received and understood by the target audience receiver, it cannot be called a successful communication. I hope you understood. Then you need to understand your purpose. So what is your purpose? Whether you are trying to market some kind of thing, you want to prove something, or like you want to explain some information related to the people, there should be some purpose why you are making that communication should be understood. Okay, so you need to understand from the essay. After reading the essay, you should understand the purpose of the author writing that article. Okay, you should explain why he wrote that article, what is the purpose of that article, that should be clearly explained. Next, formulating your message. The message should, like, based on your purpose, your message will be framed. So if you are trying to prove something, you speak about a lot of facts and figures. When you try to explain about a product or a process, you clearly detail like what kind of process it follows, what kind of information that is used while completing the activity. In that way, like, you will be explaining the complete details about the concept that you are explaining. Okay, it all depends on the purpose. Based on the purpose, your message and message style will change. Next, the style and tone of the message. See, the style refers how it should be written. Like, simple, it should be written in simple paragraphs. Small simple sentences should be used to complete the activity, and the words that are used should not be biased words. So in that way, you just cross check proper information when you are writing something. Just cross check the details that are provided in the book and try to evaluate it, because these are the initial training periods where you will learn how to write a paragraph, how to write a sentence, how to write some kind of essay or article to the target audience. Okay guys, see, so please cross check the information and write exact question. See, the section 2 also, there is some information related in chapter 2 also. There is something related to the, if you take 13th question, it speaks about proper framing of the paragraph. A paragraph was given to you and they want you to make it concise, simple and easy to understand by the people. Got it? So you need to just reframe the paragraph, whether it is right or not. So you just cross check some kind of grammar issue, some kind of, you try to simple, like, make that paragraph very simple, concise and easy to understand. Okay, that is the activity that we do. Like, from that activity, what we try to learn, so we try to learn that the activity that we perform, like the whatever communication we make, executive communication that we make, that should be concise, easy to read and easy to understand, and it should be user friendly. That is the message that was communicated from that activity. You need to explain about that information. So stating that from the activity 2 we learn xyz things, and that is properly communicated. In that way, you need to address in the last section. So there is a 17, I guess, 2.17 that is allocated to you. So from that one, we need, what we should do, so we should correct the sentences. So according to me, in those sentences some biased details are mentioned. Those biased details should be avoided. So from that activity, what it explains that we are not supposed to use any biased words or like sexist words in our document. That is the actual information that we get. Okay, you need to explain that information. Oh my god. One second. Let me take you to the chapter 2. Yeah, this is the task. So in this task, what we learn from this one, we need to see, we understand that the writer should not use any sexist or biased language. Okay, that is the actual message that is conveyed by this activity. Okay, you should focus on what is learned. Okay, I know, like, you people corrected them properly. Most of you corrected these questions properly, but the main purpose of performing this activity is to learn that what is the, like, we need to learn that we are not supposed to use any biased or sexist words in our communication, because that is the main activity. So what happens when we use biased information? For example, if you take the first question, every intern had to record his readings for the spokesperson. So maybe intern can be a female also, right? Not every time an intern will be male. If you say that every intern had to record his readings, it clearly states that the intern should be a male person. Okay, his gender should be male. This is incorrect and a biased statement. We can say that every intern had to record their readings. It simplifies it. Okay, so in that way, so what happens, like, when we use some kind of biased statements, the other people, like, for example, if I say that his readings, and we got a lot of women in our organization, so what happens then? The woman might feel bad about it. Okay, so when we make some kind of biased communication, maybe woman might not record the information daily. So this can happen definitely, because it was clearly mentioned his. So we are not his, we are her. So we are not, we don't record any information, as you mentioned that it should be only mentioned by his. So only male intern will be recording the information and female will not record it in that way. Okay, Mr. Markle was an amateur. It's not required to use any amputee. Okay, you don't need to mention that one. So Mr. Although Markle, he did not count hunt and peck at the keyboard. Okay, so you can simply say Markle never counts hunt and peck at the keyboard, maybe something like that. Okay, you can simplify the sentence, ignoring unnecessary words that reflect on usage of biased language. I hope you understood it properly. So make needed changes and try to focus on what we are learning, and try to read the content that is in the chapters to which you are like of the chapter of which you are writing answers. Okay, so the questions that are from, if they are from second chapter, try to read and cross check chapter 2, then you start writing about it. Okay guys, chalo, uh, rewrite this one, and I'm sharing you. I will ask Aditya sir to share the discussion one, the sample discussion one, how they wrote it. After completing the activity, the how extracts should of the activity should be mentioned is clearly discussed in that discussion. So just cross check that discussion and rewrite everything. Okay, thank you guys. Have a nice day.